So here we are to another satsang of Bhagavad-Gita. Welcome everyone. Hope you are fine. Let's do Triyom together before starting.
Recording in progress.
Om Agnanatinirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasme Shri Gurave Namaha. May the Guru open our eyes with the collyrium of knowledge. Very, very nice sloka verse of Guru Stotram. I hope you are all fine. You have the chat. You can write to me in the chat at any moment. You want to have a break, you have to leave, you want to ask something, please do it in the chat, okay? And it's beginning of a new adventure. I don't know if you all have been to my satsangs before. Most of you, yes, here. But anyway, welcome and let's start together. So I will cover the chapters in a summary, the chapters 10 to 18. It will be a big summary to give you. And I have the book with me. So if you have the book, you can also use the book. You can use the book of Bhagavad-Gita Essentials because I will make reference to the pages. If not, it's okay because you can listen again the satsang afterwards. You will find it on YouTube live. It will be a live recording and you can see there. And you will also see the previous ones. You will see it's written Livestream 1, 2, 3 that were given on Gita Jayanti. And on that day, with all the program, bhajan, kirtan, all this, we reached chapter 10. Okay, so now today, I hope we will move a little bit further. We will see how long. I can stay a little bit more if needed for the questions and answers. Okay, so don't hesitate to ask questions. So quickly, what happened until now in Bhagavad Gita? So we have seen, as I was saying this morning during the satsang, we saw that Arjuna was so sad because he had to fight the family. And I was saying at that point, let's relate to him. It will be easier for you to follow Bhagavad Gita if you relate to the characters. Of course, it's difficult to compare ourselves to the Supreme Lord, even if we are. Him also, we are extensions of him. We are smaller parts of him for the moment. We have to work more on ourselves to be able to shine like him and to go towards him, right? But it's very easy to relate to Arjuna because he is every one of us. When he is sad, we can feel our sadness. When he is scared, we can feel our fear. And I encourage you until the end of the satsang to see yourself as Arjuna. Okay, he was an amazing disciple. He was very dear to Lord Krishna. This is what Lord Krishna says, and I will start with that directly. Chapter 10. I will just tell you a little bit more about chapter 10, even if we did it last time, because it is a preparation for chapter 11. But let's say this, that we are Arjuna. Every one of us is Arjuna, and we try to improve ourselves and cross the fears. And here the biggest fear he has is to kill his family, right? We are not in same position that we have to kill everyone literally in our family, right? It would be really crazy. But think of the big thing that is in front of you. What is your biggest battle? What is the thing that you find difficult for you to cross, difficult to go over that? And that is your challenge. That is your Kurukshetra. And that battle, we were saying at the beginning, it's also a battle inside because the good parts of us and the bad parts, the negative and positive qualities are there, and there is this battle inside. So now let's go into this war together. So we are Arjuna. We have to face that and think. I will give you some seconds to think. What is the big thing that you want to cross until the end of this session? What is that is very, very important for you that you want to cross? And you can see this family opposing Arjuna as the people that are opposing your path, that people who are not thinking like you, maybe your boss, maybe your wife, maybe your family that doesn't understand your spiritual path, right? And we can see this like this. Okay, so let's go chapter 10. So up to this point, until this point, Lord Krishna has given Arjuna a lot of different types of yoga to practice. He had karma yoga, a yoga which is very important. We'll talk about that when we reach chapter 18 again. How to do the action while we are completely surrendered. That is the highest. Surrender to the Lord. He is doing through us. Or at least at the beginning of Bhagavad-Gita, how to do the action being absorbed into it. Okay, so remember this. Karma yoga is renouncing to the fruit of the action that we do. We don't want, we have no expectations of what we will take, result we'll have from there. We just do the action being absorbed into it and putting it at the feet of the Lord. Ideally, if we still remember the Lord while we do the action, okay? But that is the ideal way of doing an action. Then he receives meditation techniques, dhyana yoga in chapter 6, how to meditate. And he's also instructed how to focus on Lord Krishna and focus on the third eye before dying. That is chapter 8, very, very beautiful chapter, and so on. If you want to listen about this, you have to see the live streams. I will give you the links, and you can listen to that, whatever we said until chapter 10. And the live stream number 3 that you will find on YouTube is talking about the glories of Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna unveiled himself to Arjuna step by step. Step by step, he revealed a part of him. And now, from this point, he will go literally so strongly in telling him who he is. And chapter 10 is about the glories of Krishna. And he says that he's the origin of all. So we have verses 1 to 7. Lord Krishna says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Bhuya Eva Mahabaho Shrinu Me Paramam Vachaha Yateham Priyamanaya Vakshami Hita Kamyaya. O Arjuna, because I desire your welfare and you are my dear friend, listen once more as I deliver the supreme teaching. So he calls Arjuna again, dear friend, right? You are my dear friend, my dear. And in the typography, we have the big M, my dear friend. He's really respected by Lord Krishna, because Lord Krishna sees in him the awakened soul which is under the veil of illusion. This is why Lord Krishna is respecting him so much, because Arjuna is also special, but he forgot who he is. And every one of this is in this position. We forgot who we are. We didn't come with a manual when we were born. Our parents did not know to tell us, you have been this incarnation of saint. You have to continue in this life. You have to continue your spiritual mission, right? Or maybe other thing. You had that karma that you have to repair in this life. We didn't know all this. And also Arjuna doesn't know who he is. And in chapter 4, remember when Lord Krishna introduced himself to Arjuna saying, Yada yada hi dharmasya, that those verses, you even have the song in the YouTube. I put it for you. We had Ujvala singing from Slovakia. And the Lord says, I come again and again when the society declines, when the dharma comes, when the unrighteousness comes. And then he said, I also gave the science of Bhagavad-Gita at the beginning of time to the first being on earth, the first Manu. I gave him this science. And then Arjuna is shocked. He said, how come you could do that? And then Lord Krishna answers, I could do it because I remember who I am. I remember myself in all incarnations, but you can't remember yourself. You don't know who you are. You don't have the same potential as me. And here comes, our path that we know we need humility. We need humility to to be open to learn more. And then he reassures Arjuna, saying, neither the hosts of demigods nor the great seers know my glory. Indeed, it is me who is the sole source of the demigods and the great seers. So he tells him everything comes from me and everything is me. He encourages us to see him, take him as ultimate, but he gives freedom to everyone to see him as he wants. He says you will reach the demigods. So if someone worships something else, one time Guruji was giving the example of the shamanism, that if you want to worship the spirit of the wolf, the spirit of the bear or something else, you will go exactly at the same dimension, because each dimension has a correspondence in other loka. Each part of our human dimension has a correspondence up. So if you, for example, love Lord Shiva, you will go to Kailasa. This is where he is, right? And if you like Mahavishnu, you will go to Vaikunta, because this is where you belong by this association with Lord Krishna as Mahavishnu and Lord Krishna as his different forms. One who knows me as unborn and without a beginning, the great Lord of the worlds, is undiluted among mortals and is liberated from all negative acts. The one who knows me as being unborn and without a beginning. It's so beautiful. But you see, it's very easy to understand when you just read it like this. But what is more difficult, and you will see it will be difficult for Arjuna, is to see this greatness in the person in front of you, right? So Lord Krishna was there like a friend, like part of the family, because he was very close and he was part of the family of Arjuna, and like the teacher, like a dear friend. And you see him, imagine Arjuna looking at him and starting, to shift his understanding. Like today, we are looking at Guruji as being a friend, as being our dear teacher, and we have to shift our understanding to the fact that he is the ultimate, right? And this is where it becomes a little bit more difficult. Until now, Bhagavad Gita was very easy. Lord Krishna is there. Arjuna takes refuge in him, says, I need a guru. I choose you as a guru. Okay, give me teachings. And he has this yoga and meditation. And now he starts seeing him as more than that. And Lord Krishna is telling him more and more and more about him. So, beginning of chapter 4, he was like, oh, how come you were the beginning? You gave this science of the Gita so long ago. And that was like a little bit a surprise for him. And then from that point, he started to reveal himself more and more. And here, very, very easily, directly, he says, one who knows me as unborn and without a beginning, the great Lord of the worlds, is undiluted among mortals and is liberated from all negative acts. Okay, But Arjuna was feeling, I want to know more. And then during all the verses following, he is revealing himself more, saying that everything comes from him, all the qualities, intelligence, knowledge, self-control, pleasure, pain, and the seven great seers, the Saptarishi, and the four sages before them, and the Manus. Actually, every time a planet is there, there is a being coming. They're first, like our Adam in it's on each planet, and that is a Manu, are all my mental expansions empowered by me. So he empowered the Saptarishis, he empowered the first beings coming on the planet. He was the one who was mastering all the process of incarnation, of creation, of everything. All the creatures of the world are descended from them. So you see, you had the rishis, then you have the manus, then you have all the story. If you want to know about Indian actually history and origin of humanity, how Indian science describes it, and the philosophy, you can see so many movies are there. So we are making reference to Vishnu Puran, so you can see that there, how Mahavishnu came on the ocean, and then from him the Trimurti came, and he empowered each part of the Trimurti. That picture is in the ashram. When you come in our ashram, you see that Mahavishnu lying on Adishesh, on the snake, big snake, and many snakes, even 1008. You will see in the picture, and he is lying down on this his seat called Adishesh, and from there he is coming Mahalakshmi. He's materializing, let's say, he's giving life to Mahalakshmi, who is him, and then from him comes the Trimurti, the Trinity, the Hindu Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, and he gives them instructions on who they are and what they have to do. And Brahma is in charge of creation and creation of humanity and all the rest that you will see in the movie. But anyway, he says everything comes from him. He who knows the truth of my glory and power becomes undoubtedly fixed in the unshakable yoga of bhakti. So the one who knows him, his glory, is knowing bhakti as well, because it's such a grace to be able to just surrender and understand and accept, deeply accept that other being near you. And this is about relationship. This book, Bhagavad-Gita, I was saying, it's the first one where we have Lord Krishna in a form so present. I mean, it's such a dear form as the friend of Arjuna, and he had to open his mind, open his heart, and believe and have trust so that Lord Krishna can show him more. And he says, I'm the source of all, everything emerges from me, and that he gives the knowledge to all devotees. Let's listen to that. With their minds focused on me and their lives centered upon me, they inspire one another. This is the ideal Sangha. By always speaking of my glory, they derive bliss and contentment. This is what happened in our Sangha, right? We start talking about Bhagavad Gita, about Guruji, and we inspire each other. To those who are constantly engaged with me and who worship me with intense love, I give them the realization by which they can come to me. Out of compassion for them, from within their hearts, I lift the lamp of knowledge and dispel the darkness born of ignorance. Very, very beautiful. So he starts telling Arjuna the behavior, the qualities that one has to have to open to Lord Krishna. I'm going on with the verses, and then I will also read little bit of gorgeous commentary. And if you want to pop in with something, don't hesitate at any moment, okay? And what is happening for Arjuna? So Arjuna is listening, because from chapter 2, he started to listen finally, and he accepts Krishna's divinity. And then he also confirms that very beautifully. Arjuna says, let's have a Sanskrit verse. Arjuna uvacha param brahma param dhamma pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam adidevam ajam vibhum. So Arjuna confirms what he understood. You are the supreme Brahman, the supreme abode and the supreme purifier. You are the eternal divine person, the original Lord, unborn and all-pervading. How beautiful is that? The supreme Brahman. So that is a word designing the Lord in his formless, infinite aspect. The supreme abode. You are also the place where you live. It's you. And the supreme purifier. It means that he comes and he cleanses us all, right? We already say that when we do our Kriyas, Atma Kriya Yoga, how powerful is that purifying us? It's just the Kriya, which is full of the power of Guruji Mamata Babaji. But imagine himself coming directly into you. What a big purification can be. And we saw that with the miracles that we had, because you will see the 3 satsangs and also other things we had online on Gita Jayanti, but it generated such a powerful energy in every one of us, and we had miracles after that. Because of that energy landing, and I told Sakrananda, I said, you had so much devotion doing those rituals, and we all together had so much devotion being together that called the Lord, and then the Lord manifested himself. So if you want to overcome your obstacles, then listen with devotion, be in devotion, and call him inside. Call him inside. Be also connected. Do like Arjuna. Start to see him, be connected to him. And then he continues out. Now we see him through the words of Arjuna. All the divine sages, Narada, Sita, Devala, Vyasa, and now you yourself declared this to be the truth. So he himself is declaring himself as being the Lord. O Krishna, I'm convinced of all that you have said to me. Truly, O Lord, neither the demigods nor the asuras are the demons, know your identity. O Supreme Being, O Creator of beings, O Lord of beings, O God of gods. So he's in such a state above, that he is really recognizing only you yourself know yourself by your own potency. And this is what happens with the great masters. Only they understand themselves. Guruji said, there is a very nice quote. I think it's in the Guruji gallery or in the small videos, when Guruji says that literally, you know very, very little about me. And what I disclose to you is like, 0.1 from the big, line of potency, like 000. And he tried to unveil himself a little bit to us. And even that sometimes is too much for us. It's really too much. We react inside because it's too much. He's there to cleanse us. Now kindly tell me in detail your divine glories. Describe the various qualities by which you pervade this world and reside within it. Tell me how I can know you and fix my mind upon you. What are the forms of existence that can be contemplated on by me? So he asked him how to see you and how to see you in everything. Tell me again in detail, O Krishna, about your attributes and glories, for I am never fully satisfied when hearing your nectar-like words. So he's willing to listen to Krishna. So then Lord Krishna is continuing and then telling him, and that is Vibhuti Yoga chapter 10. We are still at chapter 10. And he says, among all the Vedas, I'm the Samaved, the Veda related to sound. He's telling him a lot about him. So I encourage you to read that chapter. I told a lot in the live stream number 3, so you can see the end of the live stream. It's about the vibhutis. And when Lord Krishna says, he takes each category of things, each a class, and he says that what is the best of him in that, right? Like, among all the Rudras, I'm Shankara. Among all the sages, I'm Brigu. Of the trees, I'm the Ashvata. Among the weapons, I'm the Vajra. Among the Nagas, the snakes, I'm Ananta, and so on. And then, if you don't understand the word, you can see the glossary at the end. You will have a lot of Sanskrit words in it. And he also says that he is the sacred syllable Om. He tells us several times. And last time when we did this chapter, then we started to sing Om. So now we don't have time to do that. Start singing the Om inside, understanding that the syllable Om is Lord Krishna himself. Okay, and this is how it's going. So he is Kamadhenu, he is Vasuki, he's Varuna in the oceans, he's Yama, the Lord, he's Garuda as a bird. He's Gayatri Mantra also, that is very sweet to know. He is Kapila Muni. Kapila Muni, he is the origin of the philosophy. We talked about him as well. He's the churning of the ocean of milk. He's Meru, the mountain, and so on. And of course, Vyasa, who wrote the Bhagavad-Gita, it's also him to be able to write it exactly as Lord Krishna said. So then Lord Krishna is listening to Arjuna, and what is he doing? He's giving an answer to this request to see his cosmic form. So we go into chapter 11 right now. Arjuna's request to see Krishna's form, page 184. Shri Arjuna uvacha mad anugrahaya paramam guhyam adhyatma samjnitam yat vyayuktam vachastena mohoyam vigato mama. Arjuna says, out of compassion for me, you have revealed the most profound mysteries. The spiritual knowledge has completely removed my delusions. So already he feels purified after listening who is Krishna. O Krishna, I have heard in great detail about the beginning and end of all beings, as well as your inexhaustible glory. But he asks for more. He is not satisfied with what he had in chapter 10. He said, O Lord, if you believe it is possible, then reveal yourself completely to me. So he asks Lord Krishna to reveal himself completely without knowing what the power is that, right? Show me your unlimited universal self, O Lord of Yoga. And of course, being the dear friend of Lord Krishna, he will have all this. Behold, Arjuna, there are hundreds and thousands of my divine forms of different shapes, colors, and sizes. And then he's giving him all the forms he is. He starts talking to him about that. And then this is in verses 5, 8. And then finally, verses 9 and 10, the cosmic form of Krishna revealed. Then we have Sanjaya again. Do you remember about Sanjaya? Sanjaya is the assistant of the king Dhritarashtra, who is blind. And the whole Bhagavad-Gita is given through his eyes. And now Sanjaya comes into the picture and he describes whatever Arjuna is living, because at that point he can't speak anymore. And Lord Krishna says before that because he's his dear friend, he will have these visions and that he has many forms. And he adds, but you will not be able to see this with your physical eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic power. I was saying that at that time, as you know, human being was more purified in the other yugas. We were more actually undiluted. We are out of illusion. We could see when when some devotees were very pure, they were just making a prayer, and Lord Krishna, Lord Shiva appeared physically in front of them, but they could see them with the third eye. But today we don't see anything outside anymore because we are too much focused on the outside and we can't see with this inner vision. But that time, beings like Sanjaya, Sanjaya is very special, he can see. And Arjuna, at this point, he cannot see. So Lord Krishna is giving him this grace. And it makes me think of that experience. We talked about that. I mean, we had a guest talking about that during Gita Jayanti, that Guruji gave Swami Parantapa the possibility to see Krishna. So he saw Krishna as a baby. He gave him this vision. And in the same way, Guruji can give us whatever we need. I told you, maybe not all of you, that he gave me the possibility to speak Hindi. It was not the language I had time to learn. I speak Hindi today, okay, with my friends in India. And I think one of them is online. Let me see if he's still there. I think he went to sleep. He was online some minutes ago, Mukeshji. He's following what I'm doing. He was on YouTube, then he came here. I could have spoken in Hindi for you to know, but you can see some. I have some videos in Hindi, and it's going on, and this is gorgeous grace. But before, I was feeling like dying. In Kumbh Mela, he sent me alone there. Everyone was speaking only Hindi, and I was thinking, oh my God, what I will do. Next day, I have to talk to people, to tell them who I am, to tell them about Guruji. And this was possible only through his grace. But I felt like dying. My body was dying. I was really feeling like disappearing when this strong energy came on me to give me this possibility. And then after, I will give you another experience that my brother had. Anyway, here Lord Krishna is giving him eyes to see. So he's opening his vision so that he can see clearly. And this is what he sees. Sanjaya says, having spoken thus, O king. So he's telling the story to the king, to the father of the Kauravas, to the bad cousins. Spoken thus, O King, Sri Krishna, the great Lord of Yoga, then revealed to Arjuna his supreme cosmic form. They were innumerable mouth and eyes and many other astonishing features. There were numerous divine ornaments and scores of divine weapons held aloft. He wore celestial garlands and garments, and he was anointed with divine perfumes. Facing all directions, he was full of wonders, resplendent and limitless. So he can see in all directions the Lord. Because he has so many heads. That Vishvarupa. This is the chapter 11 is Vishvarupadarsna yoga. It's the yoga of the revelation, of the darshan, of the form with many forms, universal forms. Vishva means universal. Okay, so we all have Vishva in our name. Vishwananda means that Guruji's name is the bliss, the universal bliss, for you to know also what means Vishwa. And here Vishvarupa is the universal form of all forms. If 1,000 suns, each with blazing effulgence, were to rise all at once in the sky, perhaps that magnificence might be something like the radiance of the Supreme Being. We are not even sure that 1,000 suns are enough as light to qualify him. In that cosmic form, Arjuna saw the entire universe with all its divisions situated in one place, all within the body of the God of gods. Then Arjuna, overcome with amazement, his hair standing on end, bowed his head to the Lord, and with palms pressed together began to speak. So he feels humble, he feels small while looking at this. And I tell you, this is how Guruji is. And I'm so sure of myself when I say this, because many of us had amazing experiences. And he is literally so powerful and can do so many things, so many miracles in people's lives, and materializations of deities from his heart. And I will come to this second experience. So just remind me to tell you my brother's dream and also the experience of materialization of deities, because that these two are so important to understand this form of the Lord. And then Arjuna continues to describe the Lord's form, and he is like so amazed, and you have all this description there, with your innumerable arms, torsos, mouth, and eyes. So it's several heads, okay? I see your infinite form on all sides. There is no end, middle, or beginning to you, for you are the Lord of the universe, and the universe is your body. I behold you with crown, mace, and discus, your blazing effulgence radiate in all directions. Even though you are everywhere, you are hard to look at, for your brilliance is immeasurable, like a burning fire or the sun. So he had received eyes, but still the eyes he has can see, but it's so powerful for him. And then he understands that who he is, that he is the supreme eternal supreme being. I see without beginning, middle, and end. Your creative power is infinite. So imagine having the vision of the Lord, infinite vision in the sky. So wherever you look, it's there. So powerful and also fierceful. It's not a sweet vision. This is everything. This is everything in this vision. The demigods are entering into you, and some out of fear pray to you with palms joined. The different sages and perfected beings cry out, Hail to you, as they glorify you with Vedic hymns and words of praise. And the three worlds are trembling. The space between heaven and earth in all the directions are filled by you alone, beholding your awesome yet terrible form, O Krishna. So we think of Narasimhadev, when we think of a terrible form. But here, Lord Krishna was himself, of course, Narasimha as well. So Narasimha's head was there to be terrible. The Rudras, the Adityas, the Vasus, the Sadhyas, the Vishwadevas, the Ashwin Kumaras, the Maruts, everything, all these classes, different categories of beings, the Siddhas, the Asuras, all gaze upon you with amazement. So it's like the whole pantheon of forms of energies of the same divinity, because Hinduism is monotheistic. Even if you think it's polytheistic, it's just one supreme God from where everything comes. In one supreme God, we choose it who he is. Here we choose Lord Krishna as ultimate. Your great form has many faces and eyes. There are many arms, thighs, feet. And, O Krishna, on seeing you radiant and multicolored, touching the highest heaven with your gaping mouth and huge glaring eyes, I'm shaken to the core. I have lost all composure and peace. Second time in Bhagavad-Gita when Arjuna is so scared. But now he's scared of something else, something bigger. Here is the vision of Lord Krishna. Seeing your mouth and a wisdom teeth, which are like the flames of cosmic destruction, I'm completely disorientated and confused. Have mercy on me, O Lord of the Devas, O abode of the universe. And what is he seeing more? This is really interesting. He sees that the war that is taking place has already taken place, that Lord Krishna has already thrown fate to these negative characters. And he sees this, all the sons of Dhritarashtra, so the 100 cousins, the other kings, Bhishma, Drona, and Karna, along with the leading warriors of our side, are all rushing into your fearsome mouth with terrible fangs. Some are even caught between your teeth and are having their heads crushed. Imagine this. So take a moment just to visualize this. As many rivers rush towards the ocean, so do these heroes of the world enter your blazing mouth. And there is like a blazing fire, and all people are madly rushing into his mouth to meet their destruction. I mean, all the people of the battle. Okay. O Vishnu, devouring all the worlds on every side, you lick them up with your flaming mouth. O Lord, with this fearsome form, tell me who you are. So still he is not clear. He says he feels confused. He feels scared. He doesn't know what is going on. So interesting to see this. So interesting to see how Lord Krishna is showing his power, and Arjuna starts to be scared. And he is the being that has been the most cleansed at this point by Lord Krishna and challenged and transformed. And still he cannot see him fully, and he cannot believe. And he's so, I mean, he believes, but he's so scared of what he believes in. And he feels a regret at that point, that until then he just considered him just as a friend, and he did not see the greatness of the Lord. And this is what happens with us as well. And we have so many stories about this in the ashram, that actually we forget who Guruji is. We forget, whenever such big authentic gurus are there and they are coming to us, they are so close to us, we forget who they are because it's too much for our mind. So yes, we want a friend. Some people even come and search for a partner. Okay, so many Matajis in the ashram who comes at the beginning, of course they are searching for love, so they are imagining a relationship, and not only Matajis but also Prabhus and so on. And yeah, this is on the path. This is part of the purification that is going on in Bhagavad-Gita. When our desires are purified, our aim is purified, and this is how he's raising us to see him, and Guruji does the same. And in the satsang this morning, you will see it also in the satsangs there. It's called, because I'm putting the title this evening, it's called like, what is your inner dialogue? What is the dialogue that you are telling yourself? Because we talked about that today. You will see that we spoke about this, about the fact that we still have to be positive, even if yes, we are not perfect. We go step by step and we evolve step by step, as Arjuna had to come out of his actually tiredness and sadness, lamentation, and open up and transforms. The same with us, and Guruji will challenge us. And I was saying that at the beginning, we all are like in a honeymoon, and everything is so soft and sweet. And you have this in the satsang, saying that, and then we have some tests coming, and these tests are also even inside us. We will have tests of purification by our mind, who is there. So then, what is Arjuna doing when he gets scared? He asks Lord Krishna to come back to a form that he can bear, because that big form, infinite, is too much for him. He really feels it's too much for him. And he says, can you come back, because I'm scared. I feel so bad because I regret like seeing you just as a simple friend. Now I understand it's really beyond of my imagination. He was thinking he will have just a vision like this, and Lord Krishna just gave him the full vision of himself in all the forms, with all the mouth. So I think that must be scary, even if we had some visions, but that vision is something scary. And people had visions of Guruji, appearing at Narasimhadev. I'm just telling you that because we were talking in our little sangha that yes, he appeared like Narasimhadev, and Narasimhadev is one of the incarnations that he remembers the most. So he comes from there. He knows Narasimhadev very closely, and he can talk about him and also incarnate him. He can really appear like Narasimhadev to us. And if you had some experiences you can talk about, I had many experiences in which Guruji suddenly shifted into being, more strict, more fearful, and you could feel like the energy is changing, like the time and space is changing when he appears like that. And then, of course, Lord Krishna comes back to a form that Arjuna knows, and that is his four-armed form. So Chaturbhuja, so it's Vishnu with four arms. He transforms himself into this form, which is still a divine form, right? He doesn't come back to his friendly look, like I'm your friend, I'm equal to you a little bit, but he comes back to a divine form, and just he lowers down his potential, he slows down his energy so that Arjuna can really, understand him better, and not feel scared anymore. And then what is Lord Krishna saying? So from this chapter onwards, we will have so many insights into bhakti. Because even Arjuna was scared, then Lord Krishna has again to come back to him and give him more understanding about bhakti. Because if we have that bhakti and full surrendering, we are never scared of anything, right? And because of the fact that he was scared, this shows that he was not able to fully welcome that form. It was too much for him because of the fear of death, right? Again, we come back to Sankhya Yoga, science of matter and spirit, when Lord Krishna says, why are you scared? You will die anyway. We all die. I mean, our body is going, but the spirit is forever there. But this is such a high truth. Who is able to behold this truth, right? That if we die tomorrow, is it just okay for us? And this is an exercise I gave in the satsang, saying, just imagine you will die tomorrow. Just you have some hours. I give you this meditation so you can also have a break a little bit, just like inhale, exhale, and wake up if you are sleeping, and think about this, about the fact that you are feeling this death coming, and how do you feel about that? Are you fine with that? Let's meditate. Just visualize the whole body is relaxing, as if it's like the death is coming, and you'll understand what is fear of death, because it's not, we are never ready. And Guruji says we make plans and plans and plans, but actually we can die tomorrow. So it's better not to make too many plans. But at the same time, continue to be happy and continue to make plans. You see, like that paradox, that we are not infinite in our material form. We are not forever here in this level of consciousness. And we have to say goodbye one day and go and see this. Just visualize it, okay? It's just an exercise. Don't go into some fear. Even if this 11th chapter is always like, when we reach here, it's so maximum. It's like the level, the summit of Bhagavad-Gita is chapter 11, and the second one is chapter 18. And visualize you are Arjuna, seeing this Lord who is not only peace and love, but he's also demanding. He's asking for our transformation as well. We cannot reach his abode being the same. We have to transform, to just remove what is not us, to remove this veil of illusion. Think of that. Remove the illusion that you have of you, and all these limits that you have, and open more so that you can receive him. So let's see, how do we feel? And hopefully we still have some more hours, days, years to live. I wish that to everyone. But the real death is our transformation. We have to die to ourselves, to our wrong idea of ourselves, wrong identification while we are alive. That is the secret. And then Lord Krishna says some things before chapter 12. So he starts preparing Arjuna to go into bhakti. He prepares him to go more into devotion, to have more surrendering, more love. So then, whatever happens, whatever he sees, he is fine. And he says, it is extremely difficult to behold this form of mine which you have seen. Even the gods are ever longing to see it. Not through the Vedas, nor by austerities, nor by charity, nor by the performance of sacrifices can I be seen in the way you have here. Only by single-minded devotion, Arjuna, it is possible to truly know, see, and indeed enter into my abode. Whoever serves me, regards me as the highest, whoever is devoted to me, is free from attachment and shows no malice towards any living being, comes to me. So whoever does this, serves, regards me as the highest, comes to me, O Arjuna. And I said today that I would talk about what is to be devoted to the Lord and about initiations, about devotion, because there are different types of devotion, different types of devotees as well. And don't expect to be perfect to commit. Sometimes say, oh, when I will be perfect, I will commit to this. When I will be perfect, but that actually time is just flowing. Jump in right now. This is how it was before, but now actually we have a minimum of rules, and these rules are very clear since the last initiation, that we have to read minimum 2 books that Guruji wrote, because you have to be familiar with the person who created the sampradaya in which we are, right? And also that you have to be vegetarian since 1 year, and no Bhakti Marga in between, like 2 years minimum. But this is where Guruji can make some exceptions. If you are fully vegetarian, if you read the books, if you attend the prayers, it's up to him to really choose you or not, because some people can have like 2 months, 3 months difference. It can be okay. All this is detailed, and I will put you again the rules in the group, because we will start talking about devotees initiation and devotees courses. And consider this, for those if you are online and you are not devotee, consider this as being like an introduction. I will tell you more when we have a real introduction into becoming a devotee. And if you are all here for this, just write me in the chat at the end so I can come back to you, because already I have a group for a devotee course. If you are all interested to become devotee, except Chandri Dasi, I think she's already devotee. Yes, she has been, yes, last time, I think. Yes, she has been initiated last time, if I remember well. Okay. But you see here, Lord Krishna says that whoever serves me, so in bhakti, on the bhakti path, the service is very important. And also in Bhagavad-Gita, karma yoga, which is service also to the Lord, is very important, because this service, this seva, is purifying you, it's cleansing you when you do it. And people who did seva in the ashram, for example, they had so much experience like doing that. And so service is important, regarding him as the highest. So this is the purpose of all Vaishnava. So if you become a Vaishnava, until you get the initiation, you are not really fully a Vaishnava. You are a follower. So before, people who are not initiated, they are followers. Followers are free. They can come and leave the ashram. They are welcome as guests. They are welcome to see, but we don't ask them anything, right? Because you cannot ask someone to commit to something if they are just there like guests, and maybe they have their guru. Some people have their guru, some people think they themselves are gurus, others put their job highest than everything and they never have time for spiritual path. But maybe that can be their dharma as well. I mean, we cannot judge because it's all, different beings and different paths. But if you feel that this book, Bhagavad-Gita, and whatever knowledge you have about Bhakti Marg, it's talking to you, you really feel you are attracted, you are called to this, it means that it is for you. And you become a Vaishnava, you are initiated as a Vaishnava, you receive the tilak that we have on the forehead when you also say yes, I want it, right? No one can come and tell you, yeah, do this, dress like this, have this tilak. Tilak, it's what I have on the forehead representing the feet of Lord Vishnu, representing Tulsi Devi, the guru, the Bindu. I have a red dot. I think you see it. Yes, you can see it. If I come close, you will see the red dot. This is the guru, and Mahalakshmi. So we have you have this as symbols of the tilak, and of course you cannot have this if you are not knowing what it is, why you do it, to be fancy. Many people are wearing saris and wearing Indian clothes because they want to look like Bollywood, but it takes really a spiritual sense when it is done in a proper manner. I have other videos and I will put you in the groups. I found some of my old videos. What does it mean to have a spiritual name? And once I have spiritual name, what to do next? If they are older, you will see that the second video talks about the old way in which we were calling the initiations. We were saying Jal Brahmachari, full Brahmachari. Just know it applies to being a devotee and being a Brahmachari, okay? It's just the names that changed because one initiation is given with water and the second one is with fire. So it's with fire element and water element. And let's wait because again, we will have new things added to our sampradaya. So maybe you will have other terms. But I'm sure that the spirit of initiation will remain. The way that Guruji wants us to get initiated is that, no one is forced to anything. You choose to become a Vaishnava. And before you are just a fan, you are a follower, you are a guest, you can leave the ashram whenever you want. And then it's about when you are committed, it's about doing some seva, maybe in your community, in your sangha, in the ashram somewhere. I mean, you become part of family. So this is by this initiation, we are welcoming you in the family. We are saying hello, welcome, and this is how we are. This is why we do this. These are the prayers we sing in the morning and evening. These are the temple rules in our sampradaya, in our organization, Bhakti Marg, because each organization has its own pujas and mantras, and many things can differ. Like for example, Swaminis cannot be in orange; they have to be in white, and also Prabhus can't be in orange, and so on. Matajis cannot do puja, and so many things can differ from one organization to another. And we have to know who we are, and we go on in identifying this new identity, which is actually quite cool still. We are in Europe, we are not like in very far in India. So some things we have to understand. We don't live in a cave. We have to go to work, we have to continue, so it will be adapted to you. You will get all this, but the spirit of it is there, and Lord Krishna has fixed the spirit, and it starts here chapter 11, and it will culminate in chapter 18 when you will receive the mantras. There are two mantras that are, one is in chapter 18, and another one is a mantra which is helping you to surrender more, and the third one you have it, Om Namo Narayana, I know it. So the moment you are initiated, it's like saying yes to surrendering more to love, in going more into purifying yourself, working on yourself, transforming yourself. And he says, Lord Krishna says, whoever serves me, so serving, we said, it's karma yoga, putting all in front of the Lord and doing, when I say all, it's your work, okay? It's not, he doesn't need anything. Guruji is not asking for anything. There is a help, so you will receive all the things that you can support the community. But if you cannot, if there is a difficulty for you, no one is asking you for anything, okay? It's for you to serve the Lord more. It's for you to abandon yourself, right? And regarding the Lord as highest, it's important because you have to know on which path you are. You cannot say, okay, for me Krishna is the highest and Shiva is the highest and Divine Mother is the highest, everything is the highest. How beautiful is that? You can say if you just study Indian philosophy, but when you commit, there is a different energy. I can tell you, I was in Shivaism several years very actively, and then before, even I was in the same vibration a little bit. I love Divine Mother, I worship Divine Mother, I was in charge of a temple for Kali, and they are different energies. And Lord Krishna is Lord Krishna, Narasimhadev is Narasimhadev. In the energy, everything is one, and the one is the spirit of that, okay, the formless God to which you pray. And for us is Narayana when we are in Bhakti Marga. um, but you see, when you step forward, when you make a step towards the Lord, He's also making 1,000 towards you. And this is where the initiation has a meaning, because you receive if you also commit a little bit, right? You have to be present to receive. Now you are all here this evening. No one forced you to be here. You just felt to be here on YouTube and also on Zoom. So it's beautiful, right? Just feel that there is a call which is calling us, and sooner or later we will move close to that. It's like the sun, the heat, and we just do our process to go there. And sometimes we know we will reach, but we have this thing to solve and other things to solve. It's normal. So he says that the person who regards him the highest, who is devoted to him, is free of attachment and shows no malice towards any living being. So it's about becoming loving, about softness. And then the chapter 12 is a preparation to Bhakti Yoga, the Yoga of Love. And let us do a little bit something different here and just read together. If you have the book, it's page 205. What is where we are right now? And it's like an introduction, and then we'll read something about the Guruji's comment. After the great revelation of the cosmic form, Arjuna poses a question to Krishna: which is the better way to attain him as a devotee who is constantly engaged in worship of his personal form? So, which is the better way to attain him? To worship him in the personal form, or the one who contemplates upon the formless aspect of the divine? Is this the best way to do? So, do we need the form or we don't need the form? That's a good question. And Krishna's response is clear. The way of devotion is higher. The path of contemplation on the formless aspect of the divine is filled with difficulty and suffering, whereas those devotees who are constantly absorbed in the Lord are delivered through grace. So, of course, it's easier when we have a form in front of us. It's difficult and easy. It's difficult in any way. It's difficult when the Lord is just an infinite energy, because you don't see him, you don't know if he hears you. And it's easy when he's in front of you in a form and you can talk to him and he's answering. And Krishna then outlines a step-by-step guide as to how one can ceaselessly fix one's mind upon him. So, in the beginning, let's see this together. In the beginning, one should develop a mood of detachment through karma yoga, described in the earliest chapters. So, we have to start to be absorbed in the action, whatever we do. Even not think, oh, I will achieve being one with the Lord. We don't have to think of merging into Him. And even if you don't see him all the time, absorb yourself in the action without thinking of the results. Then this internal renunciation should be suffused with bhakti, dedicating all actions to Krishna. So first we focus, we absorb ourselves in an action, whatever it is, our work, for example, our duties at home, um, whatever comes in your way in your everyday life. And then step by step, this internal renunciation that you will have an internal renunciation. You will not think of yourself doing the action. It will be only the action itself. This inner renunciation will be suffused with bhakti. Put bhakti into it. Put love into it. Remember the Lord when you do it, saying, whenever you forget Him, like you start doing your work and in the morning you said, okay, I think of you, because this is what we do, I'm sure. And not only in Hinduism, we do it in all religions, that we say, may your will be and not my will. May this day be your day and not mine, right? Let you be the one who is guiding me every time. But we forget sometimes. So it doesn't matter. Come back to that and remind yourself, oh, I want to forget myself on my individual level, my ego, my agitation of mind, all this suffering, because all these ups and downs bring suffering. But if you focus fully into your action and then you add bhakti to it, or even put bhakti before, set the intention in the morning, you will forget it during the day, because this is how we are. We have a call and someone from the family is calling us, we have to go to work, the boss and all activities, you will forget this is for Krishna, this is for the Lord, right? But persist, continue, be persistent, and put bhakti, dedicating all actions to Krishna, saying, this is for you. Let you guide me. Let you come through me. Let you work through me. Let all these results be your results. Let me be yours. And this is where initiation comes, is that we want to belong to Him. And this is where bhakti comes, and Bhakti Marg, this is really specific to this path, that we want this relationship with the Word. In Advaita Vedanta, we say, God is there, I'm God, God is in me, everything is God, it's finished. You merge into Him, you are one with Him. Here, we are two, the Lord and me. And I still want to see His form. I don't want to merge fully, because that is the pleasure of all these singers, devotional singer, poets. It was not that to merge with Krishna, it was to sing His glories, to see Him, to have a glimpse of Him, to fall at His feet. All this is another lila, another game of the Lord, right? And when you say it's finished, it's good. You also attain the Lord, and in Advaita Vedanta, it's a respectable path, but it's different, right? It's not the same. We don't have the same way, the same path, the same journey. Finally, one will be in a position to perform a meditation practice which can steady the mind to remain exclusively on the Lord. So with practice, you will have your mind focused on the Lord, and this is where bhakti starts, and surrendering process really starts. And it's really, very, very good. And in the closing verses of the chapter, this is the summary of the chapter. I will give you some summaries so you can go quick, because I'm sure you will start reading Bhagavad-Gita if it's not yet done, and I'm sure you are reading every day. So in the closing verses of chapter 12, we hear about the various qualities of the true devotee. They are beyond the ways of the world, untouched by joy and sorrow, detached from pain and pleasure. At the end of each statement, Krishna repeatedly states that such devotees are dear to him. And this, remember, I don't have to say much on this, because I told you in previous satsangs that during the whole book we have this idea of being equal, equanimity. Whatever you happen, you are in peace, you are relaxed, everything is fine, because you don't want anything, you have no expectations. Your life itself is in the hands of the Lord. What expectation you should have? And then you have no conflicts. You are so purified because it's fine. If someone is mean to you, it's okay. If it's raining or if it's sunny, it's okay, whatever. We have so many, I see we have some French speaking, but in our country, in France and also in French speaking, you have people saying, oh, it's raining, oh, it's, whenever it's gray. But it doesn't matter. In your heart, it should be always spring, always summer, always sunny, always positive. And then this idea is there throughout the book. You will find it, and until chapter 18, you will find it again. And you will have, remember these 6 chapters coming at the end. After chapter 7, it's a repetition of many things. Like, for example, the next chapter will talk again about the body, the matter, and the spirit. Kshetra, kshetrajna, yoga, the field and the knower of the field. The one who knows, and the field itself. The field is the matter, right? And then you have chapter 14, Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, the 3 modes of nature, the gunas. We talked about the gunas also together. And we go on. Let me just give you. Then you have again knowing the supreme person of the Lord. Why? This is just before chapter 18. Knowing the supreme person, because chapter 18 is a big chapter. And in that big chapter of Mokshaya Sannyasa Yoga, in this chapter of surrendering, fully surrendering to the Lord, chapter 18, there you have all the path again. Lord Krishna is telling again and again that we should focus on Him. The path to liberation is actually a surrendering to the Lord, and there are different kinds of renunciation. We still have some time. I want to give you some time to ask questions if you wish. I just see that some people are leaving. I think it's evening and they have also dinner time. So let me know if you can still stay. We said until 8:30, but I was feeling 8 would be maximum for many, but I gave more in case we have questions. Okay, and it's better to do like, you see, for example, in chapter 18, Lord Krishna gives final instructions on everything. Let's see some final instruction he gives. Like he gives again an instruction about your duty, and I gave that in a satsang recently because we finished Bhagavad-Gita in on Monday morning satsangs. Through dedication to one's duty, one attains perfection. Better is one's own dharma imperfectly done than the dharma of another done perfectly. When one practices the dharma ordained by one's own nature, one never bears any sin. So you see, here Arjuna was a warrior. His dharma was to fight. And the fight he has to do, it's so difficult. It's fighting his own family, right? But it was his dharma, and it was completely fine. Lord Krishna says, this is your dharma. You have to go to fight. You don't want, you feel you are too weak for that. That is your problem, but you have to go and fight because you are a kshatriya. You are a warrior. So see where God put you, where Bhagavan put you in your life, and be happy with that for the moment. When he wants to shift you another job, another atmosphere, if you have to become brahmachari, if you have to become sannyasi or swami or whatever, or send you in the world, like many saints have been sent by their guru to US and other countries to spread Bhagavad Gita and the word of Lord Krishna. That was their dharma. And be happy with your dharma. Guruji often says not to compare each other to anyone. And doesn't matter if you become devotee later. This is when it's your right moment. Your right moment is now, and this is when all will be for you. At this moment, you are ready, and it's like this. Okay. So I give you some time to think if you have some questions about devotee initiation, maybe about whatever you want. You can write them in the chat. So like this, I take the questions and I answer them. Or if you want to share anything you want. Someone is asking if I can do Pada Puja. Yes, of course I can do Pada Puja. To my guru, I do Pada Puja, if that is a question. We do all pujas and yagnas and abhishekam. We can do all the pujas in Bhakti Marga. And much more in Kalash Puja. We know how to do all the pujas. We are trained for this. Okay. So let's come back to on initiation. So when you will become initiate, you will receive mantras to learn and to recite. So one of the mantra is Om Namo Narayanaya, and that is again, it's like Bhagavad-Gita. When Lord Krishna says, he talks about his higher nature and lower nature, and he talks about the fact that he is transcendent and immanent. He is in everything and everything is in him. And the mantra Om Namo Narayana is this. Everything is in this mantra and this mantra is in everything. So if you want to sing a mantra which has all the mantras into it, Om Namo Narayana is such a mantra. And then when you will become devotee, you will be initiated, you will receive, so all the content you have to learn. Yes, we will give you guidance on more books to read. You have to have some knowledge of who you are, because you will um, understand more Hinduism and learn more about Hinduism, the morning prayers, the evening prayers, how to dress, what are the, how to behave in the temple. So many things we don't know when we are a Westerner, how to greet in the temple, and all this I will give you in the course. You will have all the knowledge in the course. The devotee course is for this, to give you all the understanding, and you'll receive a manual at the end of the devotee course. You will receive the manual as well. And the initiation has to be physical when we are doing it, but Guruji every year is doing the initiation online, so which is very, very beautiful. You receive the course from us, and you receive the name and the blessing from Guruji online. We will see if you will do it once more next year. If it's not possible to meet physically, probably Guruji will do that online. So be ready to get your devotee course in advance. We will let you know when you will have all the information for the initiation, and like this you are ready. And I will spend time with you just to tell you, you need to be comfortable. You need like 2 days or 2 afternoons to get the devotee course. But sometimes when it's very, very urgent, I did it even in 1 day or even one afternoon for a person who had already a lot of knowledge, because she was from a lot of time in Bhakti Marga. But to be comfortable, you can take 2 afternoons. Usually I do morning for in French and afternoon in English. So like this, you have 2 days, 2 afternoons or 2 mornings, you will choose. And if we are only English speaking, we can do it in 1 day, but then you have to take time, and I will give you breaks so that you can have time to take your tea and relax, okay, in between. Okay. And whatever you need to prepare, I will let you know, because every time is different. Like last time you had to have everything for online initiation. All this you will be guided, and we will tell you everything at the right moment. And if you want to become a teacher and teach Bhagavad Gita later, that is also a possibility. Come back to me and keep in touch with me, and I will guide you the best so that you can be trained to give this beautiful text, such a beautiful shastra, sacred knowledge to everyone. Okay, so I'll give you some time. You have some questions. Let's take a moment, and let me know if you can still stay. You are not many online, and let me know if you can stay until the end. If you continue, we can also sing something. I can give you a bhajan. Maybe we can sing about Krishna, Lord Krishna. And remember what he was saying, that we have to fix our mind on him. And so the final instructions, this is what he's saying, and also that we have to do our dharma, and we have to study with determination. Yes, so some people have to leave right by 8. Okay, if you have to leave, you can just leave, no problem. Welcome, and we will meet, Marie-France, we will meet for further steps. Okay, I know you are in my group, and we will start doing the devotee course as well. I will let you know when I'm starting. Thank you. Okay. I will just give you the essence. One more sloka, the essence of it. Like in chapter 18, Lord Krishna says that we have to fix our mind on Him. Fixing our mind on Him. Let's think about this. Let's meditate. Let's finish with a meditation and maybe a song together. Once again, hear my supreme teaching, the most secret of all, because you are so dear to me. I will declare what is best for you, page 303. Fix your mind on me, be devoted to me. So these are the qualities to have as a devotee. Worship me, bow down before me, and you shall come to me. I promise this for certain, for you are dear to me. So beautiful. Fix your mind on me, fix your mind on Krishna. So nice. And you have many images. Like there's an image of someone who is drowning, he's in the water almost dying, and then Lord Krishna is giving him the hand, and the senses focus on Krishna, not on the problem. Focus on him coming to his rescue. Focus on him, seeing him, and not on your problem. If you focus on you, saying, I don't know how to swim, you will just drown. Focus on him. Let him help you. And in everyday life, we do everything with our power. But here, when we become a devotee, is doing the things, having the help of Krishna, having him radiating on you, giving you power, giving you energy. So beautiful it is. Like that story, I often say that story of a child trying to move a stone by himself, and he cannot. And the father said, but you did not use all the tools near you, everything, all the solutions. He said, yes, I tried everything. And the father said, you did not use me. I'm here. You should have asked for help. And this is how it is when you have a problem. Think of asking Lord Krishna. Think of asking him. Think of calling him like a child calls his mother. It's easy sometimes to call the mother. It's more difficult to call the father. Here we have a father-mother because we say that only he is a Prabhu. We all are like Matajis. We all are feminine energy because we have to open to him. We have to remain open and receptive. And it's so beautiful to go into that receptivity because you relax, you let go. There's no problem anymore. Everything is fine. So this is what you will have to know, doing, fixing your mind on him, being devoted to him, worshiping him. And he will also say in other sloka that it's important to take refuge in one path. We don't have enough power, energy to do everything. Imagine if you have to be in all the organizations doing all uh, the strategies and all the techniques and everything that is there for your life. You don't have time to put all this into practice. This is why taking refuge somewhere, starting to listen, to a teaching, putting that into practice, already it takes so much time. And if you have to learn, if you want to learn more about Bhakti Marga songs, about Bhakti Marga way of living, about the philosophy, it takes time, right? But we always let people free. And when they come to for initiation, they say, "Oh, I have my Biodanza course, and I have also my other gathering. Can I still go?" Of course, you can still go, but you have to commit a little bit and be present. And my cat is just answering you from there, saying yes, yes, with us. Yes, he's also having his dinner time, but it's fine. So let's continue. I said I will give you two stories and then I will give you one bhajan. And meanwhile, just start imbibing this, start feeling you surrender and you trust. It's all about trust. At one moment, love is so powerful, it calls us, and Lord Krishna is calling us. It's like our supreme actually soul, our higher soul, Paramatma calling us to be with Him. It's part of us. Guruji is part of us. We are part of Him. He always says this, right? And I will give you two small stories for the end. That we had one of our devotees who wanted to teach Bhagavad-Gita, and he started to teach it to other people. And it's very easy at the beginning. Arjuna is every one of us, and Lord Krishna is Guruji. And he just realized he didn't have enough experience when it's about talking about Lord Krishna as being Guruji in all the different areas of life. And chapter 11, this Vishvarupa, if you didn't have a strong experience with Guruji, I had many, and many Swamis had many. My family people had, but some people don't have experience. So, of course, they need to take time even before becoming devotee. Before it was very easy. I just love him. I can be initiated. It was like this long, long ago because Guruji wanted to just love, just put the basis of love. Here, the just love is still there, but still he's asking us to learn some things, to understand why we want to become that, right? And then this devotee went to Guruji and asked Guruji, please give me an experience. I cannot talk to people more. I have to give the satsangs. I have to give these lectures about you, and I'm stopped because I didn't have this experience. And I'm like Arjuna, I want this experience. And then Guruji gave him such an experience when he did not expect anymore, and he was so frightened. Guruji materialized, took out of his chest a murti and put it in his hand, and he was so scared. It was so hot and it was such a high end that he was so scared. He didn't even dare to look at that murti. He put it on a shelf, and then he realized it was a Mahavishnu lying down. And Guruji will give you such experiences, but you have to open up and becoming a devotee, going on the path, whatever. Some followers, Guruji always says it's not about the cloth. Don't take it just because you want it, you run after that. It should not be a desire. Usually you are a devotee even before we put a stamp on you. We put a stamp on you saying that you are a devotee, right? Already those qualities are there. It's not something that we invent and we just pour on you, right? And then we had we have this this experience, and then I had another amazing one, just to show you how love is more important than anything. I have my brother, and he's Christian, okay, and he came and had some darshans of Guruji. He accompanied my mother when she had darshan in the past, but then he has his life, he has his work, he works a lot. And then when he has 2 3 days, he has a lot of work at the house because he's at work. Other days he's working as in the medical, he's like a medical assistant, and he has so much. And he's also doing all the work a nurse has to do, so he loves to serve. That has always been there for him. And one day, we're talking about Christmas. I think it was 2018, like in October. And he said, what are you doing for Christmas? I said, usually I go to the ashram. And he said, oh, I don't want to come to the ashram. It will be, just boring for me, and I will not have my friends. And it's just like, spiritual. And he said, I'm not coming. And some days after, He had actually he was aggressed in Paris by someone in the street like this, a drunk young man who was asking for money, and then they had like a conflict, and finally, of course, my brother was sober. He couldn't really master him, but he had like a a red point on his cheek and on his chin, and he had to go to hospital to be under observation, and my phone was not working, his phone was not working, my landline was not working. We had some problems with phones at that time. I just came from a travel, so I didn't take care of recharging my phone. And he had a second phone because the previous one was stole in a disco during an evening with his friends. So we could not reach each other. And what happened? So I have a message from a friend saying that he's in hospital. I just assure that he's fine. And then I wrote a word to Guruji saying, Guruji, I know something happened to him. Please take care, because I could not reach him. And I found a number of all hospitals of Paris. I could not reach him because they misspelled his name. So in any case, I would not have reached him. And my brother comes next day, and I asked him, so how are you? He said, I'm fine. I could not reach you, but I was thinking, I'm sure you would write your guru. And that was so touching for me, because indeed I wrote Guruji, and I was thinking, believe me, I was thinking, I will, like make Guruji bored with this. I mean, because my brother doesn't make any effort to come more to the ashram. I don't even know if he believes in Guruji. I don't know where he is. And normally I write for devotees. Sometimes I tell Guruji, some things when it's very urgent. And there it was something like, it was not like the end of the world, but still I was not having news. And I was really not putting the maximum of my energy to that. And my brother said, I felt that you wrote your guru. I was knowing you would write. And he said that he had a dream. And he had a dream of Guruji standing on planet Earth. And he is not into Bhagavad-Gita, okay? I was studying Bhagavad-Gita, chapter 11, the greatness, the supreme being of the Lord. My brother, he had the experience. He had the experience that night. He saw Guruji on planet Earth. He was so Guruji materializing things. He saw, and he was telling me, I know now who he is. I know who he is. And it was so amazing to see that, because I was at the moment in which I was having some questions inside, and he just came with the answer. And then he came to have that Christmas, vegetarian meals, vegan meals. I think it was still vegetarian at that time, vegetarian meals. And he had a person, a devotee in his room speaking Spanish, and they were just talking through Om Namo Narayanaya mantra and the mala. And you see, this is how it is. We say that the wise are eating the fruits of the tree, and the other ones, the stupids, let's say, will spend time in fine, like describing the trees. And this is where, bhakti is better than knowledge. Knowledge is okay, and through some specific techniques in Advaita Vedanta on Shivite path, you can reach the Lord. They are specific. You can reach this oneness with the Lord. But it's so easy to surrender, to love the Lord. It's so amazing to have that bhakti and that relationship with Him. Okay, so I encourage you to meditate on that, and believe me, I will be very sincere saying that it changed my way of looking at people. That experience that my brother had, because he was always doing things in a different way. He was always more simple. He was just serving people. He was having that kind of service. I was the one in knowledge, and that will be like the answer to the next question that I got in the chat, is that there is the knowledge path, the jnana yoga, and there is the bhakti yoga, okay? And you can reach, Guruji says, be very respectful of whatever everyone, wants, because if you believe your Sadguru is that person or that person, that is your choice. If you believe the Sadguru is Guruji, Swami Vishwananda, Paramahamsa Sri Swami Vishwananda, then you will get what he can give you if you take refuge in him. Okay, so I have a very interesting question here. How did you make a shift from seeing Shiva as the highest to Narayana? You experience a difference in energy. Also, you experience something through the initiation of Swamini. Yes, definitely. This is why I'm really very sure. On all the path where I was, I experienced, the Guru Shishya relationship very powerfully. I was because I have this bhakti was there in worshiping the divine through other. Okay, and the shift actually was made by the divine because there was like a veil of energy I cannot explain, and I don't have enough time also now to tell you the whole, but I will talk about that more. I want to make some special satsangs on my experiences that I have never revealed until now, but I can still tell you a little bit of that. Is that I always felt that I was committed there like 99%. That 1% was not there. And I was thinking why and why and why. Because I was doing literally everything and I was quite in charge of many things, of many countries, of many, many things. It's like my boat was full to go to on the other part, of the river, and the boat, instead of reaching there, like turned and like 360 degrees, and again, and I started all over again like with an empty boat, because when you surrender somewhere, you take refuge somewhere, you have to start with humility a little bit all over again, because you have to put aside what you know and start being like fresh and new to receive this new information. Hopefully it's Hinduism, so many things I knew. It was not so difficult, and it was also the wish. When you see my name Godaavari, is the if you see the story of Godavari River, you can search on Wikipedia. It's a part of Ganga that Shiva himself took from him to Triambakeshwar temple, to Gautam Rishi ashram, to resurrect the cow. So he, because that sage was having so much devotion, that he was praying to Shiva, and then this is how the cow died. I mean, he put some grass on her. You will see the whole story. I told it many times anyway. So Shiva himself cut this part of Ganga from him and derived direction. Okay. And it was ultimately, when we are with authentic gurus, it's always the wish of the guru that we are moving, even if it takes another part, another way of seeing it. From outside, you don't understand. I see today that it was literally Shiva who sent me to Narayana, because we go through Shiva, we go through this journey. Lord Shiva is there to transform us, to purify us, to cut the ego into pieces, and only then we can reach Krishna, because we can reach love. We cannot reach love before, when we have a lot of things there. And I was not having, I can say that I worked on myself since very young age, since the age of 15. So it's not about ego what happened, because I'm so connected still, like with the respect I have for my guru, for Shaivite path, for whatever I see from there. But it was about reaching this new vibration, this new energy. And yes, it's different. Now, if you love your guru wherever you are, if Shiva is your guru and you have a guru belonging to Shiva, I'm talking about this because I'm also on YouTube live, and maybe some people will listen who have other gurus. Now your guru will be everything for you, and it's about love. At one point, you really feel, Guruji always says, it's about love. And when people come and say, "Are you my guru?" Guruji says, "What do you feel? Do you feel you love me more? Do you feel," he doesn't say this, but this is what I would say, "Do you feel you love Guruji more? Do you feel you love Bhakti more than Jnana?" Do you feel for you love is more important than knowledge? Then see where you are, because it will be. If you are still in Bhakti Marga path, you are a Vaishnava, it's because you are more into bhakti. That bhakti, it's important for you more than jnana yoga, more than knowledge. The path is different and the knowledge you receive is different. You will get in a different way. But when you love, and when Guruji came, Guruji actually initiated me, and I had my everything. Like, I was initiated, I had my name, I had the countries I had to take care of, and everything was like peace and love. It was so sweet. And I was saying, I remember the speech I gave is that I was the beginning, and we did not have the full training yet when I got my initiation. And I was saying that I did the puja to his feet in the way I was feeling, but I felt so much love, so much raising of energy. I was feeling so light. I really felt I was entering, home, like coming back home. Is this, and we say home is where heart is. So see where is your heart, because no one, it's not a forcing part. People talk about cults, about this, but I tell you, when you are very sincere with yourself, no one is holding you anywhere unless you want to stay there, right? And here, no one is holding us, and we can write to Guruji at any moment. I tell you, if you want to become brahmacharinis before or later, that yes, you have 1 year still to see if that is for you. And even if you are devotee, you step down. It happened that people wanted to eat meat again. They wanted to have relationships when they were brahmachari, but in the first year. So for brahmachari, only first year you can still write Guruji and go. But it's all about love. And listen to yourself. Don't say if you don't feel you love this path. Don't you don't feel you love these teachings. You love the way that Guruji is teaching us. The Swamis of the Bhakti Marga Academy. You have to like it, right? Because if you feel you are too much cold in other sides, take time to clarify that for yourself. You see, I'm coming from Shiva. I'm still taking care of the Shiva Tattva vibration and energy in Bhakti Marga, because Guruji knew that that was so much important in me. Even maybe I don't realize how much that was in me, and Guruji wanted me to realize that. And now I can tell you, I will work on a program, and you will be welcome to that, from Shiva to Krishna. And in that program, I will give more understanding about what it is for me going from Shiva energy to Narayana energy. I was a yogini. I started yoga at 15 years old. So, of course, a lot of yoga practice was there during years. There was a warrior side. You see, Shiva has a warrior side. And if you see his movies, see, I will send you some videos. Today I was watching some videos like Shiva and Krishna. It was so clear, the difference of energy that is there, the difference of even the music. You have that difference of vibration, of tonality, of rhythm, of everything about Shiva is go on. It's like army a little bit, but in the right way, right? We say that he has his sena. Shiva has his Shiva sena, and Krishna has his sena. Sena is the army. But it's a different way of addressing things. In our mission, we'll say, okay, someone is saying something bad about you. Okay, treat that with love. From where I come, if someone was saying something bad, we had to fight a little bit. We were very activist. But because I was in a specific branch in which we needed to be like that, because our guru was very much disrespected, and he said, everyone step up, stand and defend your path. So, but you see, we should not do this like this. We should address things with love. This is what I feel today, but I was like this before. So yes, it's a difference of being. And usually when you listen to devotees speaking, you know from which, if you know a little bit Hindus, you know from which branch they are coming, from which sampradaya they are coming. This is how it should be, because it's same in our course. We have this in devotee course, you will see we have this very nice comparison. Like, the moment you play a tune on piano, people should know that your teacher is good, that you had a good teacher, right? So if you are a good student, you will know that the teacher is even better, right? And this is how we are evolving, is that we will give exactly the vibration and energy that we get from our guru. And this is how Guruji is. Okay, Guruji is doing a lot, playing a lot of leelas, and he can be very strict. He can, because he is this vibration of Shiva, Brahma, and Vishnu. So we see this in him, because yes, if you have that devotion for the Guru, and this is in Guru Gita, and I will write it here. So I encourage you to read Guru Gita, because that is also a stone in our mission. And this is a text given by Lord Shiva, that Guruji chose it because it's so beautiful to understand what is a guru. And that is our one of the main texts that we have to study. We have Guru Gita, we have Bhagavad Gita, and we have Shrimad Bhagavatam. These are the three main books that we need to know, but at least try to read it. And if you want to become a devotee, you have to read two books by Guruji, Just Love, one, two, or three, and maybe one book of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, you see. And even we have the one, Blossoming of the Heart, It's All Experiences of Devotees. That is a beautiful book. Devotees had experiences, and all these experiences are put together. Okay, what I experienced new as a Swamini, I told about this experience during Guru Purnima, and even I took the mic to say about that. Is that um, I started to travel to India in 2002. So today it's a lot of years, even 2001, 2002, and. When I started to travel, I was so much open to whatever Hinduism was giving me. And you have this feeling of humility, because you see the saints, you see the different gurus, and I started, like at 15 years old, I started to learn Hinduism, and I saw like the first books I read, Paramahamsa Yogananda, autobiography of a yogi. I was reading a lot about Chinmoy, about Ramakrishna, and when you see this devotion, for example, Paramahamsa Ramakrishna had this devotion for Ma Kali, and this devotion and surrendering, and I was bowing down to everything. I was feeling this, and I also went there with one of my first teachers. By then, I was following some coaching training. I had a shaman, also guru. He was not a yogi, but he wanted to know about Satya Sai Baba and about the saints. So we did a big tour in India, 2001. 2002, 2004, 2006. So we did big tours to India to see Pondicherry, to see Aurobindo and Mother and Manandamai. And today, for example, we have from America, they are giving live a satsang, devotees of Manandamai. Sometimes I'm going to say hello. And you see, I was bowing down everywhere, and I had amazing gurus, whether in yoga, in music, and Shivaism. I had amazing, amazing beings, and I will always be so grateful that I met them. And I was bowing down, and I was doing Pada Puja. Someone just asked me if I was doing Pada Puja. Yes, I was doing Pada Puja at the feet of the Guru, because that is Indian tradition. You are getting to the feet of the Guru the energy you need. It can bless you so much. But just to tell you how I felt Guruji is my guru, is that at Guru, it was no Easter 2016 when I received the lingam that I have for the blessings. At that time, Guruji called me. I was waiting to talk to him, and then he called me and asked me to sit down near him. He was at the table. I had to sit and wait for him to finish talking to people. Children came with drawings, and I sat at his feet, maybe during half an hour. But I was talking. He was also talking to me. After that, at the beginning, I just sat there, and Guruji was showing me his shoes, and he said, "Look, I have these shoes since 13 years now. The shoes are in the museum in Germany. You will see them in Babaji came at the entrance. You have his shoes, and that energy was so powerful. I was just sitting there feeling that energy. Didn't know exactly I have to kiss the shoes. Why is Guruji telling me to see the shoes? And I was there, and I was in a blank space. I had so many questions, but there in front of him, I just felt I'm blank. I was not having any question. And this is what a real guru is. It's an empty space. You go there, you have only answers, feelings, experience, direct experience. And then Guruji answered some questions. I was going to India. I was starting to do my pilgrimage like 5 years after I just went to India again and again in other countries. So it was 5 years of travels. And I know at that moment when I was sitting near him, I received all the energy that helped me to do the things in next years. I was coming, staying 3 days, another suitcase going. I just planted seeds in all my friends, Indian friends I had, and gave them a lot. Whatever I was knowing, I was just teaching and spreading them, being at their houses. And after finishing the questions to Guruji, so one of my questions was if I had to receive a lingam, and then Guruji materialized another ring for me, which is a connection with him. He said that is a phone with me, and it was really a link. Then these rings dematerialized themselves when another ring of Narasimhadev appeared. That ring appeared by itself. And when I stood, after sitting there down on the ground near Guruji's feet, half an hour, and I stood, believe me, I could not even walk properly. This much energy was in my body. I was not hearing anything around. I was unable to understand human being speech. It was like noise. I was like in a bubble of energy. And I was scared because my mind was blank. My mind was not functioning anymore. He put me in another way of functioning. It's in something beyond mind. I was feeling a lot of energy in my body. I was feeling like dizzy but happy, a sense of, this is initiation. I got something just being at his feet. So he can give that to anyone at any moment. Okay. And uh, I was scared because someone had to talk, a Romanian person, Prabhu had to talk, and I was thinking, I hope he doesn't need translation because I'm unable now even to utter a word and understand the word. So I needed some time to come back to myself. And you see, I wasn't an amazing guru before. I had a lot of experiences that were amazing, and I talk about that. But I was never understanding this power of the guru's feet. And when this happened at guru's feet, I really understood this is my guru. It's something that very, very special because I really respect all my gurus. I'm in touch with them. I'm in touch with devotees from previous gurus. Whatever they taught me, even just some music, some yoga, I respect each being who brought me something, or my teachers in primary school, everyone who gave me something. But this experience being at the Lord's feet, literally I felt this amazing space that was beyond Guruji. What was there beyond him, which we don't see. We see him joking, we see him sitting, we sometimes even judge him a lot. And he says, I know people are judging me. I know devotees are judging me. Devotees are not understanding me, not accepting me fully. Because, of course, how you can accept fully the divine if you don't accept yourself? It's all about ourselves. He's the mirror of that. But he knows whatever is going on in ourselves, the level of surrendering we have, where we want to go, what are the obstacles that are there in us. And by stepping into initiation, saying yes to this, even you don't know it will happen when, how, you just say yes into receiving more energy. And this is just to end with this. um, the connection with the guru, it's like this umbilical cord. If you are connected to him, you will receive something through this connection. And this is what is initiation, is this connection, this cord between you and him, which this link, right? And it's not there fully when we are just a guest coming and going and not committing ourselves to anything, because we have to take some time. The first time I met Guruji, he made me stay because I went to just garland him from my previous guru. And he told me, please stay, I have a message for your guru. And he had a message to give him. And during that, and it's good that he made me stay, because I would just like run, or go back, because yes, it was not my guru at that time. But the fact that I sat and I took some time, I said, let me understand, try to understand, try to feel, because understanding, it's always about mind. Try to feel what is the difference. And what I was feeling at the end, and I told Guruji about that because we talked about that. When he was giving the darshan, the first darshan I saw, I told him I saw as if Shiva was near him dancing, and that he was Krishna giving this darshan of love to people. It's really, because even the darshans are different from guru to guru. It's different way of giving darshan, of stimulating energy. Yeah, those who had several gurus know what I'm talking about. Um, and it was good to just sit, and I said I saw like Shiva with Krishna, and he said, yes, this is what your guru is saying, the guru from where I'm coming. This is what he was saying, that when we meet, we are like Shiva and Krishna meeting. And it was like this: when they meet, they are best friends, they are great friends. When they meet, they spend hours together, because it's Shiva by vibration, Krishna vibration meeting, and it's just love, pure love. There is no separation in the mind. This is how I feel one with all the paths from where I come, but I had to commit to one, because you have to commit fully somewhere to understand and learn. And when your guru thinks his year is done, he will send you himself to other gurus, to other paths, and he will tell you, now it's done, go and spread it, go and make an ashram, go and make a temple. And you will feel like disconnected of him, because you have to start flying by yourself. But this is, a real guru, authentic guru, knows how to hold you and knows how to set you free. And you also know when it's the right moment, when you are mature and you will not go anywhere anymore, because you don't have where to go. We have to go inside. That is the not here, there. Many people are doing tourism into spirituality, just checking this, checking that, and it's normal as a seeker. But when we feel we reached, after our research, we reach somewhere, take time to feel, to sit, to imbibe, and don't pay attention to the mind, to all the judgments coming. It's like this, is like that, because this is ancient science of India, with all the vocabulary and imagery, starting with the temples, with Guruji's asana, his throne there. All this we can't understand. We will judge in Western way. See beyond and go into the feelings, into the experience that he is giving you, and you will have it, you will get it. I'm sure if you are here, it's because you got that inside you somehow. It just has to be clarified. Okay, I hope all this was speaking to you, right? Let's sing something, maybe. See if you still have questions. I'm still here. I'm in the mood of not eating much these days, so for me, dinner time can be at any moment. Welcome, dear. Nice to see that I talk to you. It's important to and see if there is something left, if I addressed your question fully. This I will not talk publicly, because I'm on YouTube at the same time. I will let you know in private, because I'm not talking about my previous gurus in details. Because I don't want to raise all questioning. I'm so busy with what I do. I don't have time to address that. Uh, um, I had 9 gurus. Guruji is my 9th guru, so it will be a long story to tell you who all my gurus were. But I will tell you in private. Okay. Anyway, you are my Telegram group as well. Do you have other questions? Let me see if I have something. Someone is saying, thank you for the book recommendation. And someone else is doing just namaskar. Okay, see if you have other questions. Actually, the thing is that I will just tell you why I don't want to disclose, because you see, Guruji was so sweet, and this is where we see the difference of the way of doing. But when we had a meeting, because Guruji is taking one person from somewhere, right? I mean, it's which is who is coming to him because of the grace that was there. And I really feel I need to take time to disclose more about my past, because it's really important to understand the energies and the commitments. And I'm here to bring people forward. And this is why I'm also taking care of Shiva's part a little bit. Um, because we are moving from, in this part, we are moving from Shiva to Lord Krishna. We move from knowledge to the heart. And also because I got some messages when I came, and some messages which were not very nice, and I feel I need to take time, because it's very important, to take time until some energies got dissolved. And because Guruji, I mean, some messages that Guruji received, because I came to Bhakti Marga, and there was a whole story behind that. And I will also take time to disclose more and to say more about that, because each path has its different challenges, and each devotee has different understandings. So I'm waiting for my path to be mature, for that to finalize all my history, because it's like a parampara, what I had in my life with so many different teachers. For me, it's a lineage that I had, and belonging to different lineages. And I'm coming now into our parampara, and our parampara is also vast. You will see in devotee course how much you will see, and we have Mahavatar Babaji as Jagat Guru. So I said to myself that I will disclose all the names of my previous gurus in my books the moment that I will understand fully what I'm doing here, because just understand was not easy for me after being almost at the end of a path, to just starting all over again something else. It was a whole thing, and I was really thinking, oh my God, why is this coming to me? But I see it saved me in so many ways, because I said that there were some problems in the mission from where I come, that there was so much churning. And India can be so sweet, but can be also so difficult with gurus in general and with people on the spiritual path, and can be so aggressive. This is why from where I come, we got the habit to be quite strong, because if you are not strong on your path, and you don't assume who you are, and you don't believe fully that this is not craziness. I speak 6 languages. I could have been a millionaire by now in a big company, being a CEO minimum, or maybe even having companies of companies, but I choose to be on a spiritual path. And I'm completely sure about this, given all the experiences I had from my childhood, before my gurus, whatever I come with. And it's good to take our time for some things to become, really mature, whether it is in our own spiritual experience, and transmitting this to others, and also in general, also because the world is not tender with us, and we have to know, even if you are very sweet, because we are bhaktas. Guruji always says, be like the snakes. I mean, the snakes are sweet. The snakes were not, of course, the good snakes. There was a beautiful story in which a snake was terrifying people, and the sage scolded him, saying, "You have to stop this. People are scared of you." And then he became very nice, and everyone was stepping on on him. And when the sage came again in the village, the snake was there, like almost dying. He said, "What happened to you?" He said, "You told me to be nice." And then the answer was, I told you to be nice, but I didn't tell you to stop doing, making your sound. When you make, hissing sound, then everyone knows that you are there. right? You remember this story? Yes. And this is how it is. So I think we have to discriminate a lot between good friends, bad friends, even the public. I'm very nice, but we don't go in polemics. We decided, and Guruji is also telling us not to go too much in all the fights for who is right, who is wrong, whose guru is the best, whose guru. We don't go into this. We go into the heart, into our experience. But of course, I will disclose all this because I love, as I said, I love all my gurus. I love them, I respect them, and I want the whole world to know them later. But I'm taking time because Guruji also, you see, Guruji was so sweet. Guruji during years did not reveal himself as gurus are revealing themselves in India. He started to do it, but he gave us so much time in Western world because we were not ready. We are not ready to have a guru, to worship his feet, to surrender to his feet. And you see, Arjuna has problems, until chapter 18. And of course, we too, in Western world, we were not raised like this. Even just bowing down in front of someone, we don't understand. We need to understand the science of Hinduism to see what is this in us. But of course, you, and especially you who are in my groups, you will know everything. And next devotee course, I think you are in devotee course. Yeah, in devotee course we can talk about that more, because we'll talk about different path and different religions as well. I will give you an overview on everything. um so yes, is there something else? Otherwise, let's sing something with you guys. If you someone wants to sing, if you want to tell a story, to sing, you are always welcome to do it. To bring your talents into the event. We are 15 minutes over the program. You are so amazing, you are still here. See if you have something. Otherwise, let's sing something easy so that everyone can sing. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radharamana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radharamana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radharamana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radharamana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radharamana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Haribol Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radharamana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radharamana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radharamana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radharamana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Kanhaiya Lala ki Jai, Swami Vishwananda ki Jai. Yes, another question. If someone had an experience with a wish, Shivarati Guruji asked the devotees and followers to say a wish. Maybe someone has a story about a fulfilled wish. 2019 on Shivarati in SPN, and there are people also longer with Guruji. Yes, I know many people who got their wishes fulfilled. Now, I don't have their names in mind, but I ask people to give me stories about the wishes fulfilled when they are invoking Guruji as Shiva, as Bholenath. And I think I had some experiences. Anyway, I put them together. The next step in the work I do with the sangha, when we do our pujas to the lingam and all this, is that I ask them to give me testimonials, and I have several wishes, even of healing, that a devotee had, and I ask her, I have to remind her to send me the story that she had. I will let you know if no one remembers here. If someone remembers here online some stories, they can give you. Yes, I have many stories about how the lingam we have, and the lingam we have actually now to I said that I have to tell you about this Shiva and Krishna story, that how to bring people from Shiva to Krishna. It's very easy. We have the Hiranyagarbha. Guruji manifested 3 times a lingam that he brought from other dimension, which is not a normal lingam, who is Hiranya Garbha lingam, who is the cosmical lingam of the universe. And 2 times we had the golden lingam, and 1 time we had Lakshmi Narayana as golden lingams. And these lingams are so powerful. People had darshans of that, but they could not touch it, and they had to stay quite at a distance. And then Guruji sent them back to other dimensions. So he knows exactly where we are in incarnation right now. That is Kali Yuga. He knows exactly who he is as in his descent on earth, and this is why we have the lingams. But the lingams we have are manifested by him. They are not just lingams found in stone or shops or so whatever. In rivers you can find even lingams, stones who have the form of a lingam in India, in the rivers, and even here. This is very special. We have someone materializing, and this is something that I will disclose later. We will have special satsangs on this, on the specificity of Guruji as a Prem avatar, what he came to give to humanity, and what he came to do, and why all these manifestations, and why Guruji decided not to show this to the world anymore at one time, because Guruji knows that people will have bad karma. They will be like Arjuna in the sense they will want to know, but they will be like asuras and demons, because they will have such a negative thought, and they will go into very, very negative thought about this very spiritual manifestations. And it's like Guruji said, no videos, no pictures, when only you can see when you are present there. And I encourage you to be physically at Shivarati when Guruji is manifesting, when this power is coming to him and he's manifesting something. Um, so when we see the last thing I have to say is that we have the Trimurti, and the rest you will get in the satsangs about Shivaratri. I will try to make some satsangs before Shivaratri comes and to tell you more, because I think this Shiva dimension has to be clarified. But just to show you something, you see the Trimurti, and you have Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And Brahma is creation, and that Lord Shiva is destruction, right? And you have Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, who is the preserver of everything. And when you see Lord Vishnu has Shankha and Chakra, he has the creation, the Shankha, the conch is the sound, right? Is the creation. And he has the discus, he has the chakra, which is the destruction. And when you see him, you say, wow, everything is in him, because the preservation energy, he has that. And he has the shankha and chakra, so he alone is representing everything. Of course, there's a story as he received actually the chakra from Lord Shiva himself. So there are also several stories there. Anyway, when you see him having this pose, you say he has creation, he has destruction, and he is himself the Lord of who preserves. And even in our transformation, when we are a little bit warrior, we have that Shivite energy. We have that Shiva energy when he is moving things, moving the mountains, moving the things. We have Narasimha energy when it's coming on us. And then you go to the process, you calm down, you become very relaxed, and that wave of transformation is going, and then you are a new you. And when you are a new you have these new qualities, beautiful new qualities. And then Lord Vishnu is there, Lord Krishna, is there to help you to preserve that beauty of love you have. Once the tempest, the tsunami went, then you are purified. So Lord Shiva has his actually aim in our life, and this is why we still have him. We have him as the most devoted disciple, so he shows us the devotion. Look at Guru Gita, and I tell again, some people are online because they loved the recommendation of book, is that Guru Gita is talking about how to see the Guru. So Lord Shiva himself was fixing his mind on Ram and his mind on Krishna. They love each other so much. Look at Guruji's satsangs when he speaks about Shiva, how Lord Krishna loves Lord Shiva. And if you go on YouTube, I shared a small video. It's in my status, in my posts. If you are you subscribe there, then you will see them, because I think you have to subscribe to see what I'm sharing as posts. And I shared a small video. Otherwise, I will give you in the group. So just let me know if you are subscribed to the YouTube channel or not, to give you the nice video. I put it in the messages. It's so beautiful. Yes, I'm giving you to you now the link, because you have this satsang will come there. Okay, and I think I cannot. Yes, wait. Yes, okay, because I have to put my window down. I cannot reduce it too much. It doesn't want me to reduce. I have to open a browser at the same time and give it a link. And there were two nice videos. One in which Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva were fighting, and when Lord Krishna's sword reached Lord Shiva's sword, weapon, this cosmical weapon reached Krishna's chest, he was feeling the pain. It was so beautiful to see. And also on the opposite, when Lord Krishna was going to see Lord Shiva in the mountain, there he's so happy to go and meet him. And this is how I can say, this is how from my experience, this is what I felt from all my gurus, because I had in a row several gurus were having this Shiva energy. So it's not just one. That is another point uh, for you, because we're talking about gurus, and I don't want to disrespect any one of them because they're all beautiful. So to tell you about all, and yeah, this is it, that they love each other. All gurus who are authentic, they don't have any problem with each other. They just love each other and respect each other, because they know they have their reason to be on earth. And Guruji always said Lord Shiva came to awaken masses of people, and he said, I will not have too many people around me. Guruji knows that when real love is there, there are less people. This is how it is. Now, I was having 50,000 people before I even had a small spiritual movement. So much was going on. And I know now it's less people. Look, now we are so less here. And the more we go into the depth of some things, we will have less people around. You will have less friends. You have less people understanding you. You become, different, unless you adapt yourself to them. You decide to just close your eyes and be. But if you are very, very sincere, you will see that there are less friends, less people with whom you can be on the same wavelength, heart to heart, like equally talking to each other. Okay, that is, and feeling that your love is just going to other person's heart, and that person is understanding you fully. That is so rare, more and more rare, but not impossible, of course. Okay, just 1 minute out until 9. My God, we are so much. Yes, we remained more than we were thinking. If you have just a last word before finishing, otherwise, wow, someone wrote a big message. Which fulfilling experience I had experience being with Guruji on a silent retreat where only he was giving satsang and sometimes giving comments. All participants were silent for the whole retreat. When we went for Japa walk, I was wondering if I should go barefoot or take shoes. Guruji was walking from behind, passing by me. He shortly looked to my side and said, you can go barefoot. And at one spot where there was broken glass, he stopped and waited for me, showing me with a look to take care. Super, you see? So he knows, yes, he takes care. And he has a lot of respect for other persons, wish to be respectful. He is taking care. And yeah, I mean, I don't know where you were in silent retreat, but I was thinking here, when we come back to France, I always feel like I cannot go barefoot, and in India I can go barefoot everywhere, in all the cow dung and in the sand. And I don't know, there is really a feeling about India. I think not only India, but some exotical countries like this. Anyway, here at my place, I would feel a difference if I would go barefoot. But we have a person in the ashram. He always goes barefoot. He is in the bhakti shop. There you can meet him. You will see him. He always goes barefoot everywhere. And you see how Guruji was just feeling that you can do it, and he just answered your question like this. He did same to me when I was at his feet. I was having a question if I should have or not his number. And then he looked at me, said, no, you don't have to have my number, because I will speak to you inside and you will listen to me. You will hear me. And this is how it is. And that when we grow in this maturity on the spiritual path, we really get this heart to heart connection with the guru and with everyone, this telepathical way of feeling. And empathy is growing, and we just know the things without having to be present there, and we are just with Guruji without having to be there. This is why it's funny, you all came here and other people were watching him. Some people are running to see him physically, running, and I understand we have to do that as well, because you have this chance to have him present. But he also wants us, both are true, he also wants us to see him in our heart, and to detach also, not to encourage all our childish moods and things that we want. And sometimes it's like, so yes, so childish. Yeah, some people are moving, so yeah, let's go then. I think let's do the closing prayer together because you were very active here, all three of you. So let's do a closing prayer together and then we can go. Om Shanti 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 Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Prem se bolo Shri Swami Vishwananda Mahaprabhu ki Jai. And because you stayed until the end, I will do what I did at Gita Jayanti. You will receive a gift. You will receive my first ebook of my autobiography. Just leave your email before leaving, and you will see. You will have some things about me, not everything, because I need time to write all. So leave your email. So I will send you an ebook, and I will add you to my personal list. And if I write something, you will be the first ones to read that, and maybe ask more questions and tell me how you felt about reading that, and if it's clear enough for everyone, I will put you in the close circle because you stayed and you came for this and you want to become devotees, and that is so amazing from you. And same online, whoever is still on YouTube, please do same too, so you will get something wonderful. Good you stayed. And I kind of know, I know just yes, some people who are there I will see in my database, so I will tell them as well. But you, three of you, three musketeers, and same online. I have three three people. It's so funny, and I'm sure people will just watch that when it's finished. Yes, you see, all the wishes are getting fulfilled right now. Just you will get more than what you were asking, and this is what is yeah, it's starting now because Shiva saw you love him, and he's not scared that you go to Krishna. And this is why he's now showering on you. Okay, super. I give you my email. I don't know if you have my email, but I give you, so you, in case you don't receive something, just ping me saying I didn't receive, and I put it also on the chat here. Yes, so that everyone can write me an email from everywhere. Wonderful. So have a beautiful evening and see you soon. And if any questions are, you can write me personally now and always. So no worries. Jai Gurudev, have a wonderful evening and see you maybe tomorrow at 11 a.m. If you want to be online. I will give again a Bhagavad-Gita, a satsang, chapter 18, and other inputs that will be there. And see you in next programs. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Thank you, Swamini.
Welcome. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev.